Hi everyone, welcome to Theta Talks. My name is Maisha Chulani and I am here with Sanaiyah Gurnamal, who is joining me very shortly, and we are exploring the topic of decision making. Is it easy for you to make decisions? Are decisions something that you overthink? Is it something that you can kind of know and trust your instinct or your intuition to make decisions? Or is it something that you find very, very hard or very constricting because maybe you have experiences in your past and may not, or you think may not have been the best decisions that you've made? So making decisions can be a little bit heavy. And so we're here to kind of explore why that's so, and also to give you a little bit of insight on how you can take that next step to making decisions so much more easier and lighter for you. Okay, so welcome again to Theta Talks. We are here to bring everything Theta related and give you a lot of insights on how Theta healing can help you, and how just by making it a part of your lifestyle, it can actually help in many different areas of your life. So the number one thing about making decisions, or actually not making a decision, is making a decision is, or that comes in, is a lot of fear that ties in with that. Fear is the number one reason that we feel it's a little bit heavy to make decisions. And fear can come from all different avenues or aspects, meaning it could be fear of if I make this decision, there could be an opportunity cost that I have to give up on, right? So making a decision seems like something you have to weigh the positive and the negative. I think this topic is a very important one for us to pick up,
Mm-hmm.
right? And continue. So we're talking about making decisions and
Mm-hmm.
how making decisions can be something that we tend to overthink,
Right.
right? And a lot of it comes in because of fear. So I was talking a little bit about um, fear in many different angles. For
Mm-hmm.
example, the first part of it is opportunity cost. If I choose door number A, then what do I have to give up for door number B, right? So there is kind of a weighing of what could be the best possible option, and that makes things a little bit hard to choose, right? The fact that you have to give up on something, or there is a loss or something you're missing out on,
Yeah.
right? So what is your thoughts on that?
I mean, I struggled with decision making quite a bit when I was a lot younger. And for me, it was not trusting that if I made the right decision, that it would be right. Like, not trusting that if I made a decision, it'd be the right one. Because I made so many
Mm,
bad decisions that it just felt like, oh, I am probably going to make a wrong decision again, which means, I want to avoid that pain or that disappointment or, whatever else, those previous bad decisions, the regrets,
yeah.
were probably stopping me from making those kind of choices again, because I didn't want to be back there regretting again or feeling bad again. The other thing that happened is I often would not know what's the right decision. Like,
Hmm.
I'd be faced with choices and I'd be like, okay, well, which one, you know, should I pick? And this happened a lot even in dating. Like, let's say I had a choice between two people and I would inevitably pick the wrong one. So, my love life was quite interesting that way because, I didn't trust myself to make the
Mm,
right decisions. I didn't know how to make the right decisions because there was no way of me, you know, getting the guidance that
yeah.
today I get from myself and the creator and the universe. So I
do
think
you,
a lot of
yeah,
it is not knowing
self,
how,
yeah.
and also not having proper guidance, and also not trusting yourself, also past regrets. And one more thing, a lot of times we don't have a connection
Mm.
with ourself, or let's say the creator or the source, which to me is the best guidance you could ever get.
Yeah, absolutely. So I picked up on something which I want to
Hmm.
expound on. I mean, everything you said is completely valid, right?
Hmm.
The most important connection is the one that you have with source, creator, and yourself,
Hmm.
right? But just rewinding, I wanted to explore this because is there such a thing as the perfect decision or the right decision? You know, sometimes
Yeah.
when I look back also at the decisions that I've made, which I thought, oh my God, you know, did I make the right decision? And then when I look back and I think, oh, wait a minute, that was really the best decision or the right decision at that point. And I
Yeah.
think we get stuck also in that idea that there's only one decision that's the truth and that's the right decision that you have to make it. And if you don't, that's it, you know, game over, right? Versus could every decision actually be the right decision in that moment?
Yeah. I I was talking to someone today, a client, of course. I always have a client story to share. I was talking to a client today, and he felt there were mistakes he made in his life,
Mm,
wrong choices. And as a result, negative things were happening to him today as a sort of like
a
punishment or like a
punishment, yeah,
lesson.
consequence, yeah.
Like these were the things you did wrong. So, boom, all these negative things are happening to you in your life. And in the session with him, we had done the healing at this point. We had done a lot of forgiveness, recognition. I had connected him to the creator. He got the right guidance. And as I was doing the healing on him and downloading, I got the insight to share with him that, you know, and I've used this example before. I used it actually in my TEDx talk as well. But it's like we have this internal GPS system,
Mm,
okay? And we may take a wrong turn in our life. We may make the wrong decision, or we may make some mistakes or things that don't pan out the way we want it to. But we all have this internal GPS, which is strengthened when we are connected with ourselves, when we know ourselves better, when we love ourselves. And what happens is when we take the wrong turn or make a mistake or all of those things, make choices that didn't pan out well, our internal GPS will bring us back on the path that's intended for us, even if we go off course, even
yeah.
if we take a wrong turn, even if we take the long cut. Ultimately, our internal GPS is going to bring us back to the path that was intended for us anyway. Might take a little longer. A road might be closed,
Might be
right?
a little bit scenic.
It might be scenic, or
Yes.
it might be, lots of construction on the way. We don't know
Mm,
what
yeah.
what will happen with those wrong turns or where you
Mm.
will go. But rest assured, you are going to get back on that path you're meant to follow, and you will reach your destination sooner or later.
Because
Okay?
that's what you're inputting at the end, right? It's like ways. You put in the destination, how you get there could be a straight line. It could be, you know, curved. It could be take a long time to get there, but at least you
Correct.
know you're going to get there. So I
And
think that ties in with your idea of trusting
yeah,
your path.
yeah. So trust that GPS, but also like the destination. You
Mm,
talked about that destination is inputted into your Waze or, whatever, your Google Maps or whatever, right? That destination was already pre-programmed, likely before you were born,
yes.
or at some point in your life, that destination you had to reach, maybe on different occasions in your life, is already pre-programmed. So
Mm.
your GPS will take you wherever you want to go, but ultimately you will come right back to the destination that's already programmed in your system, in your GPS. So I think that helps us to trust that we are going to end up where we are meant to.
Yeah.
It also, I would say, encourages people to connect with themselves more and learn
Mm.
that the direction, the answer is actually all within you.
Yeah.
And lastly, I believe that it would, at least it did for me when I realized this, it would maybe lessen the pressure or
Mm.
of having to know what's the right decision or the
Yeah.
right choice, because it's like it doesn't matter. At
Mm.
the end of the day, you're better off just making a choice than
Yeah.
not one at all, because at least you're moving and
Mm.
eventually you'll come back. Because the
Yeah.
worst situation is when you don't move at all.
Yeah.
Because if you are stuck or frozen in time, right, and you're just looping, you're in that same, cycle or loop or pain or whatever challenge in your life, and you don't go anywhere, then what happens is you stay stuck there and your
Yeah.
GPS can't even bring you back on path, en route, because you're not moving. It's like you
Yeah.
ran out of gas. So
Mm-hmm.
you have to just go and refill your tank. There's no
Yeah.
other way. You can't move. You can't go in any direction. And
Mm.
so to me, that example of refilling your tank is like go to a theta healer,
Mm.
go get your life
I
sorted
like
out.
that. Yeah.
And you just don't have gas in your tank. You can't go anywhere. So that's the point. You need to go to a gas station and you need to refill the gas tank,
And
right?
what people may end up doing is they're going to dig and try to look for oil wherever they are, right? Versus where do I go to get gas? I'm going to go to a, you
Gas
know,
station.
gas station, right?
Yeah.
Versus let me try to figure it out myself and dig. Maybe there's oil down here somewhere,
Yeah. But they
right?
don't find it and they waste a lot of effort and time doing that.
Yeah. Yeah.
When, like, Waze, for example, will tell you there's a gas station, 100 meters away or whatever. So just, the same way the universe will actually present you these
Mm.
opportunities, will bring you these opportunities to
Yeah.
course correct,
Yeah.
to refill your gas tank,
Mm.
to
Beautiful.
backtrack. The universe will give you all of that, but you still have to make the choice to buy the gas, right? To pay for the gas tank, to refill your tank, to listen to you know, the ways telling you where to go. Like you have to pay attention and you have to respond or engage. While this
Yeah.
example is like,
Very deep.
getting better and better.
And very deep. Right? So I mean, this was a beautiful example, right, into how we can be more attuned and aligned to making good decisions or making the decisions that is actually right for us, because every decision potentially is the right decision that you make, right, at the end of the day. But going back to fear, which a lot of people are carrying, which is why they can't even take that next step or make that next decision, right? And they freeze, right? Or they're not able um to move, right? And a lot of it is tied to, like you mentioned, you've had past experiences where you felt you made the wrong decision, right? So a lot of the times with my clients, what I think also has really helped is getting to a space of what we call neutrality, right? And I like to explain a little bit more about that. You cannot make any decision, or it is very foggy. You're not able to see clearly until and unless you are in a space of neutrality. Okay. Meaning a lot of us hesitate making the decision because of fear. And that's not a space of, clarity or neutrality. It's a space of fear. And
Mm.
if you're going to make a decision based on that fear, I'm going to make the same mistake again. What's going to happen is you're going to make the same mistake again, right? So before making any decisions, looking at, hey, you know what? If I do take door number, I like that, whole analogy, door number A, what could happen? What could go wrong? What could be the worst, right? And looking at door number B and saying, okay, if I do decide and take this route, what could happen? right?
Yeah.
It is only when we are able to see and face our fears that we're going to be able to understand, oh, was that it? Or, okay, let me figure out a way so
Mm.
that I can kind of uh, lighten that, or fix that, or heal that. A lot of us are just kind of just stay in that fog and just kind of make decisions out of, like flipping a coin, right? It's either A or B. Let me just flip a coin, right?
Yeah.
And
Which
when you're coming from that space, I feel that's when you are in touch with your intuition and your guidance system. That's when you can hear it versus all that cloud and fog of the
basically,
fear.
like the fear clouds your judgment
Correct.
and it basically plugs your ears so you can't even hear
Or
ways
see.
telling
Yeah.
you,
Yes.
take the left turn, take the right turn, which is
Yes.
your inner voice really guiding you to where you need to go, right?
Yeah.
Having said that, let me add one more thing that comes up, like that
Mm,
came up while you were talking, is there's this exercise we do in theta healing. I've done
mm-hmm.
it with my clients. I know you've done it with your clients. We've done it in classes where in theta, our students are taught to do future readings,
Yes.
right? So, what we have done with our clients, and I just wanted to bring this up because this is such a great way
Mm.
to make decisions, right? And you, like I've shown my client who had to make a big decision. Here is choice A. This is door number, what did you say? Like door A, or door
A.
number one?
Yeah.
Door A, right?
Mm.
And if I take this job, for example, here's the future reading of what's going to happen in the next 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
And then here's what lies behind door number B.
Mm.
If I instead went out and started my own business, for example, this is where my life would go.
Yeah.
And from where I stand today, or where my client stands today, which outcome do they want for themselves?
Yeah.
Right? And if door A is going to get them closer to what matters to them, to what feels like is the life they want, then it becomes a really easy decision because you've taken your mind forward to
Mm.
see what would happen if you made this choice.
Mm.
And then there's a sense of relief and this sense of maybe no longer fear of the unknown,
Correct.
but
The
more
unknown is known now.
now the
Yeah.
unknown becomes known, and now there's
Mm.
anticipation for all
Yes.
the positive things that could come out of making this choice. So that is one of the great tools we do have in theta healing, which is to do future readings and to see the outcomes of events
And
that could
what's
happen.
interesting is it could even be where they realize, oh, I didn't, door number A doesn't sound that nice, nor does door number B actually, and maybe now I realize that's why I'm not making a good decision because both outcome will lead to,
Yeah.
not so great outcomes. Let me look at a third option
Option.
or,
Yes.
door number C, right?
That
So
happens too. Yep.
that also can happen quite a bit, actually,
Yeah.
right? Versus just settling for this. And I think that that's also very important to understand. I feel like a lot of my clients, they feel that, if I quit my job and I do this, and then what if I fail? Versus, okay, if you quit your job and you do this and you fail, you can always get another job. Like, is it really something that you need to be so um
Afraid of?
afraid of, or life or death type of dynamic?
Yeah.
Could it be something that is fluid and flexible and it's okay?
Is it
Because,
that bad? Is it
yeah,
is
is it
it
that
that
bad?
bad? Is it
Yeah.
true that this would happen? Or is it that bad? So there's a way of kind of questioning ourselves, like this thing I'm afraid of happening, is it really a big deal if that
Yeah.
happened? Do you know what I mean? Like, could it be solved? Could it actually lead me somewhere better? So I think as theta healers, we're trained to consider possibilities that may have looked like dead ends,
Yes.
and I think working with a theta healer also helps you see some of those possibilities that
Mm,
didn't feel open to you,
yeah.
right? Now,
Yeah.
there's two other things that came to mind that I
Yeah.
wanted to bring up is another core concept in theta healing is everywhere you have been in your life,
Mm,
every detour, every choice, every situation, every challenge has brought you to where you are today. You are
Mm-hmm.
here because of that,
Mm.
not in
Yes.
spite of that,
Yes.
right? It has shaped you. It has made you who you are today, whatever those experiences may be, undesirable or desirable. Either way, that it had to happen for you to get where you are today.
Yeah.
And so one of the things we stress a lot with our clients and our students is not rejecting our past or our
Mm.
past regrets, mistakes, choices, decisions, but accepting and recognizing all of that brought me where I am today. And I wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be who I am,
Mm.
right? If it hadn't
Yeah.
been for all of those things,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
I love
again,
that.
I had another client today, and we were talking about how she was programmed to believe that all like the nice, let's say the nice cutlery was for guests, but not
Mm.
for her,
Mm.
right? Or like the fancy the fancy things in the house were for the guests, but
Mm-hmm.
not for her. The good food was always kept for the guests, not for her. So she grew up thinking, or she grew up feeling like she's a second class citizen.
Mm.
And the adult in her today doesn't like to buy things for herself, doesn't like to travel comfortably, doesn't like to buy herself clothes, basically loves
Very
spending on
practical. Yeah.
everybody else, but when it comes to spending on herself, feels guilty, feels
Mm.
anxious, like there's not enough
Mm.
money for that, and has all this stress around money. And it goes back to, as a child, I never got the good stuff. The
Yeah.
message I got growing up was, I don't have the value.
Mm.
The guests in the house do, other
Mm.
people do, but I don't have the value. Therefore, I don't deserve it. I'm not worthy of it. And
Mm-hmm.
unconsciously, she has racked up all this guilt and anxiety when it comes to spending any money on herself.
Wow.
And the most, I think, troublesome part of it is she doesn't let herself make more money than what is enough to sustain her kind of like bare
Lifestyle.
minimum
Yeah. Where
life,
she is. Yeah.
and to have just that enough extra money to take care of like family, and
Mm.
that she needs to kind of rescue or take care of when the time is right, of course out of love, not for any other reason, but it's like she will
Yeah.
not hesitate to help somebody she cares about.
Mm.
So she wants to have enough of a cushion that is available, and every time she's able to help somebody she loves, she feels really good, she feels grateful that the money was there,
Yeah.
but nothing more than that, because
Mm.
she has kind of resigned herself to living this very kind of like like
Mediocrity kind of.
like very basic life,
Right. Okay.
even though she doesn't need to. It's because
Mm.
of subconscious programming.
Yeah.
And what I showed her is she had this like loyalty, hidden
Yeah.
loyalty to
I was
that.
just thinking that word is
Yeah,
huge jumping out in this, right?
yeah, yeah. So she kind of was stuck in that childhood self who had been told, you can't have more than this.
Yeah.
You can't, open that new box of cookies because that's for when we have guests. So
Yeah.
today, I'm not going to buy myself a new outfit for this
Yeah.
because that's not for me. That's for someone else. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
these programmings, they kind of like subconsciously seed into our life, and they influence the decisions and choices we make. So when she realized that she was kind of like behaving from that perspective, it was just like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm doing this. Like obviously her wiser self, her adult self was like, oh my God, I did not realize that this is what has been motivating me this whole time.
Yeah.
And she was talking about how she's going to take like a flight, which is like an overnight flight.
Mm.
And she's like, the cost of upgrading my ticket is like 3 times the price.
Yeah.
And the old me would never
Mm-hmm.
buy that ticket. But after this session with you, Sanaiyah, I'm kind of considering whether I deserve to come back in comfort,
Yeah.
and not have to like, struggle even in getting back home from a trip. Why can't I just give myself better rest and a more comfortable,
Yeah.
journey? And so it was kind of like, oh, maybe I do deserve my
Yeah.
own
Oh,
attention, my own support.
I'm sure that with your session, you've really, changed her life and her trajectory, right? Since opening her eyes to that. And I think loyalty is a big one
Hmm.
because, a lot of the times, um, in our day and age, we weren't allowed to make decisions for ourselves,
Yeah.
right? We were told what to study, we were told, what to do, and this is what your life will look like. And so we didn't really practice making decisions also. And we were kind of just nudged towards it. And what ends up happening is that when that person's not around anymore, or when we're alone and when we have to make that decision, or those decisions, we kind of don't know how,
We
right?
don't have
And
the
get
skill
stuck.
set.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
don't have the skill set. We've never learned to have to do that,
Yeah.
which is why, as a mother, it's so important for me
To
to teach
teach.
my children to make decisions,
Mm.
but also to notice when I am dragging my feet on a decision and
Mm.
wondering why
Yeah.
I'm doing that, right? Questioning that.
Yeah.
And finally, also empowering myself and other people to make a choice, even if it might be the wrong choice,
Yeah.
knowing and trusting that it's going to bring me back
Yeah.
to where I need to be, anyways.
Perfect. Full circle.
Yeah.
So let's
Cards.
pick our virtue cards.
Yeah.
So today's card is wisdom. Oh, we got a good one today. Very
Oh, we
apt,
always get a good one.
but very clear and straight. It really kind of ties everything together with trusting yourself and know that
Inner
there is a
wisdom.
even a bigger wisdom outside of you who is rooting for you and is your cheerleader always, right? We just have to be attuned to that.
Yeah. And we have more wisdom in ourselves than we give ourselves credit for.
Mm,
I just wrote actually an email out to my database today, my email database. So I write these emails with like different stories of
mm,
my life and the lessons that have come out. And I was writing an email today about my trip because I was in the Maldives this weekend for my 15th year wedding anniversary. And a couple of different things happened, and I wrote about it. And ultimately, the email was about how we need to learn to trust that inner voice.
mm.
And as much as people can give us advice and they can coach us and they can like help us, the best answer always comes from within us.
Yeah, because the only person who knows what's best for us is us, right? At the end of
And
the day.
that's the inner wisdom that we need to all learn to listen to and to trust. And that is a very big part of loving ourselves.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, nice to have you back.
Thank you.
And thank you, everybody, for joining us. I don't think we missed out on any comments or questions
Nope, nope. Today
today.
it feels a little quieter on the chat. I don't see any questions, but do we have any announcements? Anything
Yes,
coming up?
so please do join our EBS sessions, which
Hmm.
are running all the time, so
Emotional
that
breakthrough. Yep.
you can explore. Maybe you need to make a decision, and I can give you a little bit of insight and guidance to making decisions.
Yep.
What
I'm
else is
doing
coming?
I'm doing laser digging. If you're a Theta Healing student, you are invited to our laser digging community event, which is Thursday. Today's Tuesday, yeah,
Yes.
which is Thursday evening. So you can just, DM below if you're not in the community and want to join in. We have weekly activities and events running. So you are welcome to join us if you're a Theta
And
Healing
I
student.
just want to highlight for February, because it's just the beginning anyways, that we have an online vision board class coming up on
Ooh,
the 15th of February. We also have a family constellations in action, a webinar where, a lot of you have heard a little bit about it, and you're going to see it in action, where you're going to experience little processes so you can kind of get your healing
yeah.
done
I
in that.
I love family constellation, and I think I'm attending the upcoming. There's an upcoming workshop, and I'll be attending that, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
I'm really excited to meet Maisha's teacher of family constellation, and I totally love family constellation work. So that's definitely something amazing to explore. One more thing is vision board. So speaking of vision boards, I put a trip to the Maldives
Oh,
on my vision board.
wow.
And my husband wanted to surprise me with a anniversary trip to the Maldives, but then he can never keep a secret from me, which I think is a
Mhm.
good thing, even though like surprises are not very
Is forte.
yeah. So he gets really excited to show
Yeah,
me or tell me about something, or even like if he'll buy me a gift, he like can't hold it in. He just wants to
yeah.
like give it to me. So he wanted to go to the Maldives. In the end, he had to tell me and so on. And then I was supposed to travel, and I was like, "Oh, we can't go because I'm going to be traveling on those dates." And then somehow the event I was supposed to go speak at around the time that we would have gone to the Maldives got moved to March.
Wow.
And so suddenly it was like, oh, we are available to actually go on this anniversary trip. And then at the very last minute, we got everything. We booked everything, got everything, organized, and we had this beautiful trip. And it started with a vision board. So,
Wow.
yeah, so
So this is
definitely works.
online, guys. You can do it wherever you are at. And it's a great time to start.
Sounds good.
Okay,
All right, my dear. Talk to you
see
soon.
you.
Bye. Bye,
Bye.
everyone.